And I think that's amazing, and we are all very, very happy about that. However,
That's why
Mr.
you have
Kaz,
selected your launch of Republic Business, as Mr. Puri said, is the best possible.
Thank you.
Stars are aligned
Thank
in
you.
favor of Republic
Thank you.
Business.
This is the second time you're saying thank you very much for that, sir. My point is, I'm completely with you. But I'm just asking a question a broader way. Give me a minute to explain it. 5 years back, and you were such a seasoned diplomat, Mr. Puri, if in geostrategic terms anybody would have asked a professor in any global Ivy League university, how do you rate or place India in the global committee of nations, we would have been called a middle power. Today, I genuinely believe that within a few years from now, or even potentially now as the way we are moving, we will be called a great power. Question is, in economic terms, if we can move so fast geostrategically, in economic terms, two factors are matter of concern to me. Our GDP per capita is still 1/4 that of China. Point number one, sir. Point number two, reality. The amount of imports we have from China in terms of manufacturing and manufactured items, which we can fully do in India with the Made in India scheme with so many PLIs, Indian businesses are still heavily dependent on Chinese imports. Our per capita is still 1/4 that of China. So while we are seeing the visible growth when we go to an airport, when we go to an infrastructure, the fact of the matter is that we are not outrunning China. And when I said let's not get into a self-congratulatory mode, so we are now contributing about 5 to 6% of global growth. China is contributing upwards of 25 to 30%. We need to get into double-digit contribution in terms of global growth. How can we quicken the pace?
First of all,
Quicken the pace. Thank you, sir.
I would, Arnab, encourage you not to flatter yourself and me and all of us with retrospective effect. 5 years or 8 years ago, nobody would have called you a middle power or this thing. Let me be very clear. References to you in 2013-14 would have been you are part of the fragile five. And fragility is something which is very easily defined in terms of this discourse. Today, you have demonstrated, and this I think is a very great quality of the Honorable Prime Minister, and I have to be very careful with my words. He knows how to convert a challenge into an opportunity. When Amitabh was giving you the figures of 4 crore homes being built, I know something about it in the urban sector. Look at the amount of steel, the cement. We've done calculation. For 100 units of Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, how much of steel and cement comes. I don't want to bore you with those statistics, but they are mind-boggling. Today, your capital expenditure goes up for 7.5 lakh crores to 10 lakh crores, etc. I know my oil companies. They produce about 23% of the country's revenue. They've already done 62% of their capital expenditure spending, and we're only in the month of beginning of December. I'm saying something else. It's not where India will go. India will go up, I have no doubt. If today the Chinese economy has done very well on account of the opening measures, I believe, Amitabh can correct me, they started opening up 12 years before we did, number one. Number two, please look at the Chinese statistics today. I'm a member of I'm a union cabinet minister, so I have to be choosing my words carefully. Today, there are very few people who will bet on that rise story, because there is a certain challenge there. Our challenges we've embraced, and those challenges on every front have been converted into opportunities. I don't think the name of the game is competing with China. The name of this game is to lift. Look, the Millennium Development Goals did well because China lifted hundreds of millions of people out of poverty. The Sustainable Development Goals will do well because India will do well, and because India will do well, the SDGs will do well. That is the latest story. Today, businesses always look for places to locate. And I think that the location or relocation, and India being a manufacturing destination, the fact there are entrepreneurial forces here which are being unleashed. And employment, please, let's take a bigger look at it. If the unemployment factor were what it were, you would not get these political results. Point one. Point two, today you have employment generation by this younger lot of people. I mean, look at the number of startups. I am so impressed when I go to any of these sectoral meetings, what they're doing in the energy sector, what they're doing elsewhere. There is that spirit of achievement. And today they are competing. I'm not talking about digital and financial inclusion. All those are well known. Believe me, 5 years from now, when we will be, I would encourage my friends in the opposition either to join in this or start worrying about the 2029 election. But today we are in a situation where India is the story around.
But when global growth will fall to 2%, which is predicted to in a year,
I'll tell you
impact on India?
No, see, I'll tell you, we have to be careful what happens to the global growth. Because if you analyze your GDP today, whatever $4 trillion, 50% is in the external sector. The value of goods imported and exported, the value of remittance. But today you are able to revitalize and re-energize the domestic market if you see what is happening. But what will continue to happen? I mean, I'll give you a small thing. The millet thing started. I'll just give you a small example. Today there's so much demand for millet, the millet prices have shot up. There are things we are doing. I think that the major economies in the world, now major economies, where is the real growth? It's not going to take place in one country that you've been describing. Europe also has signs of worry, but the United States, Africa, Latin America, I don't think the global situation will impact. We'll just have to find new markets and new opportunities as we go along.